Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and I always get confused as to whether or not the title is Tomb of the Dragon Emperor or Empire. And it's Emperor, not Empire. But anyways, it doesn't really matter. I thought this movie was really bad, and me personally, the worst Mummy movie out of this trilogy, and quite possibly worse than the Tom Cruise Mummy. But I haven't seen that movie in a while, and I have no intention of rewatching it, so we'll never know. But as a standalone film, this movie, just like completely detached from all the other Mummy movies, I thought this was just unbearable. Like, there was barely anything to like about this movie. I laughed once towards the beginning. There was one kind of funny joke, and I still like Brendan Fraser in this movie as Rick. But overall, I just got nothing out of this movie, and I keep comparing these movies to Indiana Jones, and this one felt like Indiana Jones as well at many points. And also, fun fact, this movie came out in 2008, same year as Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The visual effects in this movie looked pretty bad and really took away from the overall action scenes and experience from this movie, because I never once believed that what I was looking at was real. It kind of just reminded me of like, no more restrictions. We can just do anything we want, and we're just not there yet. And also, this movie kind of uses a lot more CG than the previous two Mummy movies, or at least from memory. In those movies, there was CG for sure, but it was kind of used sparingly in comparison to this, because at least half of the action is just in a computer or just things that don't exist, and half of it is in camera, which is fine and all, if I could actually tell what was going on, because half of the time in these action scenes, I could barely make out what was going on. It was just that poorly filmed. And unlike the first two Mummy movies that were directed by Stephen Sommers, this one is directed by Rob Cohen, and I'm not really familiar with him. A change of directors really did not help this movie. Not that the first two movies had a great sense of personality or look to them, but this one can't really say that changed for this movie. And also, this movie looks very different than the first two movies, where the first two films looked kind of bright, whereas this one is kind of dark and looks very much like something like, I don't know, Spider-Man 3 in terms of how it's lit, or just everything just feels darker when it comes to the colors in this movie. There was also a really forced romance in this movie that I did not care for at all, and I didn't really find much of this movie to be entertaining or interesting, because nothing was really getting me attached to the story. I found the pacing to be slow, despite this movie being shorter than the first two movies. Could have fooled me. I didn't feel as though it was shorter, really. But at least it wasn't 2 hours. I can say that much. And also, this is kind of a nitpick, but there's plenty of points where characters are just out in the cold. Like, the entire middle of the movie is just out in snowy mountains, and characters are really cold, but I never once got that feeling, because the characters never acted that way when it came to their physical performances, nor could you see their breath. Like, I'm pretty sure you would see their breath at one point, but I never did. And the only thing that I really got out of this movie is that I had some newfound appreciation for the first two Mummy films, with the amount of practical action that's in those two, and how much better I could see the action in those movies. Whereas this movie just has an over-reliance on CGI, and it really does not benefit anything that's going on. And to top it all off, there were a decent amount of performances that I found to be really weak. Like, Luke Forward in this movie, he really did not do much for me. He was kind of annoying, and Maria Bello, like, not a bad actress, but she's recast as Evelyn from the first two movies, whereas in the first two films she was played by Rachel Weisz, and in this movie she wasn't really all that great, if you ask me. And that's about all I have to say about The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. It was really bad, really boring. Nothing really got me engaged with what was going on. The action sucked, the CG was dated and didn't really hold up. Nothing made any sense. I didn't care about anything. The music sucked, and I just have nothing else to say about this movie. Don't watch it. It's the worst out of the 3 Mummy movies. But if you really do want to watch it, it's currently on Max. So there's something. That's how I watched it. But I have nothing else to say about this movie. So with all that being said, I'm going to give The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a 1 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Transformers Age of Extinction. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.